outside because the virus is spreading very rapidly. So I request you all to be at home, study well and be safe. Now just going on to the lesson. So we are in lesson 1, that is more about plants. So already we have discussed about dispersal of seeds, and today we are going to learn about reproduction through body parts and crops and vegetables. So the things required are your term book. So open your term book and be ready. So in the previous class we have discussed about dispersal of seeds. Dispersal of seeds is nothing but scattering of seeds. So there are different ways of dispersal, and the agents are wind, water, and a few are birds and animals. Okay. So through wind also the seeds get dispersed, and through animals they get dispersed. Like in page number 283 you have the list of it. Dispersal by wind you have, dispersal by water you have, dispersal by animals, and dispersal by explosion. So dispersal of wind is like drumstick and jacaranda, maple. So they have wings. Okay, here in the textbook they showed you. So they have wings. So whenever there is so much of air or wind, they move from one place to the other place. And dispersal by water. The examples are lotus fruit. It is spongy and it can float easily on the water. And another example is coconut. So as it has a lot of fiber and that fiber is filled with lot of air, they can easily float on the water. Then dispersal by animals. So fruits like guava and monkeys, they eat some mangoes and all, isn't it? So they eat the food and they throw away the seeds. And some birds also, whenever they eat food, what happens? These seeds do not get digested properly. So these undigested seeds also they excrete. That means they throw it, they send it away out of their body. So they eat at one place and they excrete at another place. So by this process also we can say that animals they help in dispersal of seeds. Then dispersal by explosion. So because of the weather conditions or whatever it may be, the fruit it get burst. So when it bursts, what happens? The energy or with the force of that bursting, what happens? The seed gets scattered. They are thrown away like this from one place to other place. Now today we are going to learn about reproduction. Reproduction through the body parts. So previously we have learned about reproduction through seeds. Now reproduction through body parts. So you already know what is reproduction. Producing its own kind. Okay, the parent plant, if it produces its own kind, then we call it as reproduction. Now here, reproduction through body parts is of again different types. So one is through stem, another one is through roots, then is leaves and even spores. So let us go in detail about these things. So everybody open page number 283. So besides growing from seeds, new plants also grow from other parts such as stem, roots and leaves from their parent plant, and not only these and even from spores also. So reproduction from stem. So we are going to learn about reproduction from stem. So here they have given an example of potato. So some plants like rose, bougainvillea, hibiscus and sugarcane grow from stem cutting. So here are some examples. Those are rose, bougainvillea, sugarcane and hibiscus. So if you cut the stem of these plants and put it in the soil little far away from the plant, again this stem cutting it grows into a new plant. So potato is a stem that grows underground and has buds called eyes. Any part of a potato that has buds on it can grow into a new plant. Onion and ginger are also underground stems from which new plants grow. So here are some examples of underground stem. So stems are usually they grow above the soil, but few plants they grow below the soil also. So we call it as underground stem. What do we call? Underground stem. etc. So these are the stems which grow inside the soil. So here what happens, if you see a potato, if you leave the potato for few days, like few weeks, okay, 1 or 2 weeks, what happens? So in that potato, if you see like this, if this is a potato, you can see some small holes here and there, some small holes you can see. So these holes are nothing but we call it as eyes or buds. We call it as eyes or buds. So if you leave the potato like that for few weeks, what happens? From these eyes, new leaves will start coming. Okay, from these eyes, new leaves are going to come. Now what you should do, you have to cut this part, okay, little deeply you should cut and put it in the soil. What happens? This part is going to grow into a new plant. So this is about underground stem and reproduction through stem. The examples are rose, bougainvillea, hibiscus, and underground stem are onion, potato and all. Now here next you can see, turn the page, reproduction from roots. So here you can see reproduction from roots. So they did not give any picture for you in the textbook, but I will tell you. Sweet potato and carrot are examples of plants whose roots can grow into new plants. So roots of these plants store food. So vegetables like sweet potato, carrot, radish, these are the examples of roots. Carrot, radish, sweet potato, these are the examples of roots. So these roots are going to store food for the plant. Now if you cut half of the carrot and if you put the plant again in another place, it grows into a new plant again. Then here there are some pictures, that is rose plant. See, here is a rose plant. They have cut the stem of the rose plant and they plucked all the leaves. Okay, we should remove all the leaves and put it in the soil. Don't put it completely deeply also. Okay, little bit to at least for 2 inches you have to put it inside and pour some water. After a few weeks what happens? From wherever you have plucked the leaves, from there you can see new leaves coming. Then the next one is reproduction through leaves. So here there is an example, that is bryophyllum. So this plant we call it as bryophyllum. So the speciality of this plant is this plant's leaves are going to produce new plants again. So some plants reproduce from their leaves. So the leaves of bryophyllum are thick and fleshy and also have many buds along their edges. New plants grow from these buds. So here this is the leaf of bryophyllum. So to the edges, the leaf will be very broad, thick and fleshy like aloe vera. So you are very much fond of aloe vera, isn't it? So not that much thick like aloe vera, but it is half of aloe vera you can think. Okay, the leaf of bryophyllum are very thick, they are fleshy like juicy we can tell. Now if you look at the edges, okay, if this is leaf, these are called as edges. So the corners are called as edges. Now from here you can see that again it grows into a new plant, like they produce leaves and roots also. So when the leaf becomes heavy with so many buds, so this leaf is going to bend like this. So whenever it bends and touches the soil, the roots they get inside the soil and again from there a new plant is going to come. So that is about reproduction from leaves. Then the last one is reproduction by spores. So generally this kind of reproduction it occurs in non-green plants. Okay, because only non-green plants they can create this spores. So let's go into that. Certain plants such as fungi do not bear flowers and fruits. So how do they reproduce? Fungi such as bread mold and mushroom have special structures called spores that help them in reproduction. Now if you look at mushroom, so mushroom will be like this, isn't it? So here where do mushrooms grow? They grow near dead animals and plants. They are non-green, they cannot produce their food, so they absorb the food from dead and decaying plants and animals. So how do they reproduce? So they increase their number of their species by spores. So this mushroom is going to have so many spores, black colored dots, okay, those are called as spores. So through these spores, mushroom and molds which grow on bread, so they are going to reproduce with these spores. Now some plants like ferns have neither seeds nor flowers. So ferns are green in color, but they do not have flowers to reproduce. So how they are going to reproduce? They are also going to reproduce by this spores. So if you look at the underside of a fern leaf, you will see many dark colored dots. These are called sori. The spores are produced in the sori. So ferns reproduce through this spores. Now if you take a leaf of a fern, so if you think that this is a fern plant leaf, so the leaves will be in this shape, they are very long and narrow. Now if you take one leaf and turn it backside, there are black colored dots on it. Okay, there are black colored dots. And these dots are called as sori. So these black colored dots are called as sori. Now if you clearly observe that black colored dots under a microscope, inside that again spores are present. Okay, inside that there are spores present. So with that spores they are going to reproduce. So here we have learnt about 4 types of reproduction again. So one is through the stem. Examples are rose. The clear example he has given to you in the textbook. Take a rose plant, cut the stem, remove all the leaves and put it in the soil and water it. Then the next one is reproduction through roots. The examples are sweet potato, carrot, radish. If you cut the fruit and put again the same plant in another place, again it grows into a new plant producing so many food like carrot or radish or sweet potato, whatever it is. Then the next one is reproduction through leaf. The example is bryophyllum. Here I showed you. So through the edges of the leaf, they are going to produce small buds. Buds are nothing but leaves. And to that buds again there will be roots which grow into a new plant again. And the last one is reproduction through spores. Spores are nothing but mostly these spores occur in non-green plants which cannot prepare their food, and even in green plants which can prepare their food but there are no flowers and fruits like fern plants. So if you turn the leaf of fern plant and if you look at the leaf, there are black colored dots. Here I showed you. And it is called as sori. Now if you see inside these black colored dots, you can see the spores. So this is about reproduction through different body parts. Now here you have checkpoints. Take a pencil and write. So fill in the blanks. So the first one is, after fertilization, a tiny plant called dash is formed inside a seed. It is called as embryo. It's called as embryo. If that embryo it comes out of the soil, and that is called as seedling. If it is inside the soil only, we call it as embryo. Then the next one is the development of seed into a new plant is called. Okay, from a seed if a new plant comes out, and that process we call it as germination. Germination. Seeds of cotton are dispersed by dash. It is wind. It is through wind. Some plants like rose grow from dash cuttings. It is stem cuttings. So cuttings is already there in the textbook. So just write only stem. The scattering away of seeds from their parent plant is called seed dispersal. It is seed dispersal. So this is about the lesson. So today we could not cover crops and vegetables. In the next session we are going to cover it. So in the next class I will tell you what are crops and what are the different vegetables and how can we grow in large quantities. And your homework is you have to draw the picture of this reproduction from seeds, from stem. That is the potato picture you have to draw. And the pictures given in page 284. So these pictures you have to draw. Draw the pictures of page 283 and 284. So these are the things we have covered. Please write this all in your textbook with pencil. In the next class I am going to tell you how we are going to grow different types of crops and different types of vegetables. Hope you all understood this lesson. We will meet in the next session. Please do not go out of your home. Stay where you are and study well.